I'm here at the office waiting to the doctor to come in, and the dilemma is really the quality of life remaining for my dad, and so that's really the big issue. And how do you balance the two? Because it's very similar. I mean, I'm kind of getting this. It's very similar to the whole giving birth, the stresses, the tensions of your wife about to give birth, and the risks associated, and really the exit of leaving. So this is just the reverse of birth, right? This is the return. Yeah, the stress of coming and the stress of leaving. And I just want to know what the doctor thinks in regards to how long. Does he have weeks? Does he have months? I just can't pull myself to push my dad through the marathon of getting here. You got to get him out of bed, get him ready, get him into the car, get all the oxygen, get all of that ready, and then once I get him here, got to get him out of the car, deal with the oxygen, all of that, getting him in the chair, having him to wait, and he's just fatigued, so fatigued. And then having him hooked up for blood and all that, and getting all that stuff done. And then getting him back in, just the stress on him, not the stress on me. And he no longer can really. It's pretty much me doing all of the lifting because he doesn't have the strength anymore in his legs. And it's such an ordeal. I mean, get him back in bed. And then, and then seeing him going through all that stress just for some information. And I don't know if it's really helping. So last night I had a long conversation with my dad. His biggest concern is leaving his house to a liberal. So that's his biggest concern. And I said I'll promise not to dishonor your memory and your legacy here in Sugar Mill. But he's had a long life, a really good fight. And I just wonder, if I was in this situation, would I want to fight on? And I'd be like, no. I mean, everyone is waiting for him. All his wives are there, his sisters, his brothers, his parents. Everyone's back with me all in the cerebral unconsciousness. Everyone is there. All that energy that made them is back to the origin, to the all. That's how Jesus called it, the all. It's interesting. So he pretty much said last night, I'm ready to go. So let's make that passing as peaceful and as gentle as possible for him. Yeah, dog. So I'm here in the Florida Cancer Institute. It's a factory. This whole cancer business in the United States is a factory. And, you know, it's pretty amazing. I mean, the guy I hold responsible for my father's cancer is Ralph Masulo from the Suncoast Dermatology, right across from Bayer's Pharmacy. Bayer's Pharmacy. They're out there in Lecanto near Beverly Hills. And but it's also, you know, my father and others would listen to me when I said melanoma, we got to get on it, we got to do the right removal and all this, and he was talked out of it by the rehab place, and his doctor said, "Oh, I'll just nip it out. You don't need to get the full process." You want to get that cancer waiver. But I'm going to I'd like to basically. Hello. All right. I'd like to take him to small claims court. That's what I'm going to do.
All right, girl. So I got you a copy of the CC and got you copies of all the blood work we did last time.
Okay.
Make sure this is all you. Yep, all you. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Take care, sir. My pleasure. Keep me posted. If there's anything else you guys need.
Are you
Bye-bye.
going Japanese on me?
Who, me?
Wearing the face mask.
It's just a little bit of cold started on the weekend. How's your father doing? That's good.
No, he's like, I really don't want to come. He's, you know, it's just weak, you know, and he's lost, really, I mean, since just our last visit, he has lost his ability to stand as well as he, you know, pretty much me all lifting him up now. He's just,
He has a lot of cancer in his body on the PET scan. God bless him.
yeah. How about his brain?
The MRI was done?
Yeah, I dropped the disc off. The and I'm noticing, you know, I'm noting, I don't know if you call it cognitive dissonance or cognitive, you know, stuff happening. I don't know if that would be the right word, dissonance, but like he, you know, he can't tell between the two the remotes.
Where was the MRI done at?
It was done at it's Sugar Mill Diagnostics.
Sugar Mills Diagnostics.
It's right, Sugar Mill Diagnostics.
Where's it at? Which
I
area?
dropped the disc off here.
I need the reports.
Oh, okay.
Right by
That's
the-
right
the
by. That's right by
Yeah.
Sugar Mill Woods. If you, it's right by. There's a Quest there. It's called Sugar Mill Diagnostics.
Let me send them a request.
Okay, and that was the big thing. And the big thing that I have is, you know, in looking at his cancer. I mean, you're a specialist.
Mm-hmm.
Are we talking weeks? Are we talking months?
3 weeks. If he doesn't get treatments, yes, we're talking days to weeks. I mean, he has been having the melanoma for several months at least, right?
Well, he had it. Well, he's had it for years.
Years?
He had his first removal in 2017.
Right, so, right, that's
And-
what you're saying.
All right, the first removal was 2017, and then his toe amputation was 2018, maybe.
Right. So the only really question is, when did he really have metastatic disease? And I don't have the answer to that, obviously. But
Months. I think it's been.
Well,
you think it's longer than months?
me and you, we can make any assumption. Let me see if the other oncologists did any full body. So, well, he did have a PET scan in July
And he
of
was-
17.
And he was clear.
So,
In July of 17, nothing lit up. He was completely clean.
That's not true. He actually had a lesion.
Well, the lesion. Well, he had the lesion, but the lesion he also had what's it called? What's the word? He had a bacterial infection in his nose, right? And we assumed or thought
Hypermetabolic midline nasal cavity mass thickening there. Yeah.
yeah, that wasn't cancerous. And then we thought, and then basically we took images of it.
Right.
So the idea was to give him antibiotics, take images, and see if the mass would decrease or get bigger.
So he probably had it sometime in 18. I don't know when the melanoma really starts spreading aggressively. But his last bet is kind of scary. I mean, because of how many spots in the cancer he has.
It's all in his lymph nodes and everything.
Yeah.
So,
Did I share with you the PET scan?
No, you didn't. No.
I mean, it's clearly a lot worse and a lot more different. And so, development, hypermetabolic left interest. So there's a mass in the parotid gland, in front of his left ear. Not too big, but it's new. Been interval development, hypermetabolic, bright supraclav above the clavicle bone, another mass there. It's fairly big in size. Interval development of hypermetabolic in the right neck base as well. This is relatively about an inch by inch. Interval development, several additional lesions in the right supraclav lymph nodes. Interval development, hypermetabolic left supraclav lymph nodes. Interval development, multiple hypermetabolic subcutaneous nodules in the posterior neck. So now he has the melanoma depositing underneath the skin. Chest, numerous bilateral hypermetabolic pulmonary nodules seen. So clearly you can tell that the PET scan is a lot worse.
Right.
He has a lot of disease. It goes on. And he has a couple of lesions we talked about, one on the left leg, multiple hypermetabolic subcutaneous nodules up the lower extremities, hypermetabolic nodule within the left calf. That's the one that you pointed out to me when we talked on the phone the first time, me and you.
Yeah.
So interval development of extensive hypermetabolic metastases, disease through the, from the vertex all the way to the toes when compared to the prior PET.
Yeah.
Development of adenopathy. I'm going to print you a copy of that to keep with you. So, if your father really tired and doesn't want to come in, and I understand that it gets to the point where you have to drag him every single time, I really think
Yeah.
I would like to help him, but I want to improve his quality of life, not make him more miserable by dragging him to the office.
Yeah, and that's the thing we're dealing with. Right? It's like he's so beat up, and I'm trying to think if I was in his situation, how much more quality of life is it better to keep him comfortable in bed, get him, and
I just want to be honest with you. I mean, if he was 75 years old,
right,
I would see the rationale.
Right, he's 90.
He's 92.
Yeah, he's going to be 93 in
we
May.
all want our friends to live forever.
Right, but they're not.
You're a smart gentleman.
Yeah.
He had a great life.
He did. Yeah.
And I really think at this point, if both of you feel like we tried, that's it, and when it's uncomfortable, then just go call the hospice back again, get them enrolled, and move on.
Well, they'll come. They're off till Friday. They're on. Or the Friday, we'll do that. I think that's what we're going to do.
I think so.
And we gave it our best,
Yeah, I mean, he has not been treated enough to see if it's going to work or not.
But it's just the thing is, it's just the energy and the it's a marathon every time for him to get
the only thing I have to say is just the quality of response when it does happen is just amazing.
Yeah.
So meaning that even let's say we're planning to get him on hospice in a month or two. And getting a couple of treatments to, if his body gets supercharged and start working against it, it may actually improve the way he feels his pain. And is it going to make him get up on his feet again and start walking around the place? No, obviously not. Right. So that was the only thing I was thinking of trying to achieve, but you're the one who's dealing with the burden. He's your father, and you have to make that decision for him.
Okay. We'll do this. Let me take this report back to him, kind of read through it, because I had a long talk with him last night.
Yes.
And he was like, I'm ready to move on, and everyone is there. Everyone he loves is already there.
Yeah. And like I said, it was probably would have been a stretch for me to say that we're treating a 90-year-old gentleman with metastatic melanoma, but not in the era of the immunotherapy. Just because when it does happen, I'm not saying it's going to happen like that. Right. It's just amazing.
Right. And I believe that. I think, but it's kind of like the effort to get there. True.
Honestly, I personally feel like we got a little bit too late at that game.
Yep. Yeah.
That's the way I feel. I'm like, we did only if I, got to meet him and try to help like 3 months ago.
Yeah, and I was in Japan, and I knew, I was fighting. Like I mentioned before, it's like when they found the melanoma on his toe, it became, it took forever. On his leg, you know, I was fighting with he had broken his, that was 2 years ago, he'd broken his shoulder, right? And it was the whole duality, I can't go get this because I'm on this, Medicare won't pay for, but I mean, you know, so I had to fight with them, and I was like, this is more important than this, but they were like, no, wait, you know, so he spent 2 months waiting. It's melanoma. 2 months is a big.
Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
And I need to.
Yeah.
Something's gonna give.
Something's gonna give.
Right?
Yeah.
Whether it's you slip in the bathroom in the bathtub and you break a bone.
Right.
Or you bleed in the brain.
So he wanted to get to 95, but you know he fell short.
I kind of really want to help you out and say that's it. I just feel a little bit, you know, I don't want to pull the plug completely, but again, I don't think both ways are reasonable.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong. Depends on what you guys want to do.
Yeah. So let's do this. Let me have another.
I don't want to treat him while he's in hospice.
No, I understand that. I understand that. So that was, you know, I should have been honest about that. And I was thinking, well, you got TRICARE, Medicare. And they weren't really that, they were like, well, you know, we're primary, but, you know, they weren't like, you cannot do this. Because it's like is responsible only for.
I hope the hospital does the right thing because I don't want you guys to be.
Yeah, we may be fucked.
The PET scan is $1,300.
Yeah.
And the Opdivo is thousands of dollars.
Yeah, I know, we may be fucked.
I hope so.
I will put it on.
They have a diligent team and they're trying their best to work it out with you.
Well, I'll put it on payment plan and pay it off over time or whatever.
Hopefully the hospice guys will take care of it.
Yeah, hopefully. So.
What do you want to do?
So I'll get the report, print it out.
Okay, I'm going to work with them. We've been having a little bit of issues getting the medical records because usually when you have it ordered by the physician, it's the radiology center responsibility to fax it to the right, you know, requesting physician.
Right.
You know, you're not my first patient or your father is this morning. I'm very, curious because I'm not getting the stuff.
Can we get the report you just showed? Can I get that printed out?
I'll print it out for you. And then I'm going to work on getting that MRI.
And then get
I'll leave things open. I'm not going to anything.
Right. And we're going to let Friday. So basically, Friday we'll make a decision. You know, we'll make a decision this week, and then and I really appreciate. I wish you would have been his cancer doctor back in, you know, when we first found the melanoma. We had a tough time. You know, he didn't like the. You know, so you're going to get lots of referrals from me. Anyone that
I appreciate it. It's my pleasure. It's a privilege for me to take care of
you. You're a really great great doctor.
So I'm gonna push tentatively everything for Monday. You guys feel like we're done. You call on Friday. You say, you know what, we're just moving on hospice. Let's cancel everything and just move on.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Good luck with everything. And,
thank you.
Anything I can do, Carlos.
Yeah. Hope you'll visit in Japan sometime.
Hey, you never know. It's probably on my agenda.
All right.
After you, let me grab that report for you, sir.
All right. Thank you. Let's see this way here. Fine. I don't know how you're going to work this, but I just came to talk to the doctor regarding my father. He had an appointment. He can make it. It was just 2 weeks. I don't know how you guys want to turn in the bill. Turn in the...
You saw him already?
I talked to the doctor. Yeah, I wanted... Here you go. Thank you very much.
Take care of it.
All right. Here. But we did talk to the doctor, so...
Okay.
He was here in spirit, so. Do I need to do anything else?
No.
Thank you. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Take it easy. All right, so I really like this doctor, really great guy, and he did make an effort and he wanted to try and help. That's how I felt, and So I got weeks. So we got weeks. With the extent of cancer my father has, looking at weeks. No weeks. Come on, where's the keys to the car? Okay, weeks. My dad's got weeks to live. So I'm just kind of sinking in. Your dad's got weeks to live. The cancer is so extreme, weeks. I've got weeks to be with my dad. Weeks. I've had 52 years with my father, and now I'm down to weeks.